Billy Donovan, he gotta go. The man has to go. There ain't no way on this planet. Wait, hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself here real quick. Let me show you what has me so upset today. Take a look at this play. Right after a timeout, the Thunder are down 3, 27 seconds left in the game. And this is the play that OKC decides to run. Now, there are so many things wrong with this play that I can't possibly mention them all, but we're gonna go over some of the biggest ones and as to why Billy Donovan gotta go. First off, let's talk about the obvious one here. That Russell Westbrook shooting a 30-foot bomb with 24 seconds left on the shot clock is never a good idea. That's the furthest thing from a good idea. And this is where I know some people come to the defense of the OKC Thunder, saying that OKC was trying to go for a 2-for-1 opportunity. Look, there were 27 seconds left on the game clock, meaning if the Thunder shot the ball fast enough, they get the ball back with another opportunity to score to tie up the game. That's what a 2-for-1 opportunity is, right? But that logic right there is even dumber than the actual shot that Westbrook took itself. Because once again, he shot the ball when he got the ball in, because once again, before the ball was inbounded, there was 27 seconds left in the game. Russell Westbrook catches, shoots it, gets to the rim, misses. That takes a couple of seconds, 2-3 seconds off the clock. The Celtics get the rebound. That takes another second off the clock. And bang, would you look at that, by the time the play is over, the game clock and the shot clock are only separated by half a second. 22.5 seconds left of the game and 22 seconds on the Boston Celtics shot clock. That's not a 2-for-1 opportunity. Anyways, then come people saying that there's no way that that's the play that Billy Donovan drew up in that 60-second timeout, that in those 60 seconds, he came up with a better play than, you know what? No one would ever expect Russell Westbrook to shoot a 30-foot jumper. We're gonna inbound the ball to Westbrook when he's 30 feet away from the rim. It'll be wide open and he can launch it up there. There's no way that's the actual play that Billy Donovan would think of, right? Well, here's the thing though. If that's not the play that Billy Donovan drew up, then Russell Westbrook deliberately disobeyed and disregarded the play that Billy Donovan drew up, and decided that himself taking a 30-foot bomb was better than any play that Billy Donovan had just drawn up, meaning that Russell Westbrook clearly does not respect Billy Donovan. Billy Donovan can't control or coach Russell Westbrook, meaning, guess what? Billy Donovan gotta go. But hold on, yes, there is still one more possibility here, and that's that during that 60-second timeout, the Thunder didn't come up with the play at all. Billy Donovan just said, let's do what we always do. We're gonna wing it. Give Westbrook the ball and hope something good happens. That's the Thunder's offense. That's been the Thunder's offense for the past couple of years since KD left. In which case, of course, Billy Donovan still has to go. And I think out of the three options, I'm not too convinced that that wasn't the play. Just get the ball to Westbrook. That's what he came up with in those 60 seconds. The Thunder now are 0-4 on the year. 2 of the losses coming with Westbrook and 2 coming without. And yes, they don't have Andre Roberson yet, who would help their defense even more. So even with their abysmal, awful, atrocious, blasphemous offense that they've been running, they still might have been able to eke out a win or two with Roberson just off their defense alone. But look, there's no way that your offense should ever be this bad. And from what we've seen so far, Carmelo Anthony wasn't the real problem on the Thunder last year, because they still look and play like exactly the same team. It's just now instead of Melo taking those shots, you have Jeremy Grant taking those shots. So bottom line is, Billy Donovan is the problem. He gotta go. The Houston Rockets aren't in the best position right now. All right, so I'm sure by now that you've all heard about the Rockets' new offer to the Minnesota Timberwolves for Jimmy Butler. They're now offering up 4 first-round draft picks for Jimmy Butler, and this is according to Adrian Wojnarowski.
Well, Houston is all in on trying to win a championship with this core of veterans: James Harden, Chris Paul, and 4 first-round picks is the most you can put in a deal, because you can't have a trade. You can't have a pick going out every year. It's got to be every other year and only 7 years out. So that's the most they can put in a deal. Talks around the players that would be involved are fluid.
After hearing that, Minnesota, Tom Thibodeau, the ball is in your court now. Because Tibbs, you know there is no way that you should say no to this. You know that getting 4 first-round draft pick for a disgruntled star who was on the final year of his contract isn't something that any team ever should pass up. I don't care who the player is. And if you say no to this, Tibbs, you know that's your job. You lost it immediately. There's no way you should be able to keep your job after turning down an offer like this. And part of me thinks that the Houston Rockets know that. They knew that if they made an offer well over what Jimmy Butler was actually worth, that there's no way that Tom Thibodeau should say no, but because he's Tom Thibodeau, it's likely actually that he will say no. I mean, the fact that Minnesota still hasn't taken that deal is a huge red flag. Any other rational general manager in their right mind would have done the deal immediately. So Houston is kind of daring Minnesota to say no. Since if they do, guess what? Tom Thibodeau most likely gets fired and then someone takes his place, someone more rational that the Houston Rockets can actually work with to get a Jimmy Butler deal done. And if you think about this even more, it's kind of a win-win for the Rockets if their end goal is just to get Jimmy Butler, because if Minnesota does what it's supposed to do, they'll say yes to the trade offer and they'll get Jimmy Butler. However, if they don't, Tom Thibodeau should get fired. Someone once again more rational will take his place, and then the Rockets can work with that person to get Jimmy Butler. And Tom Thibodeau has to realize that this is the position that he's in right now, right? And right now, he's probably down on both knees begging Jimmy Butler to change his mind about wanting out of Minnesota, because he knows the only way that he gets to keep Butler and his job is if he can convince Butler to change his mind about wanting a trade. Wait, hold up. This is an edit in real quick. So I just found out, or I just saw that according to reports, it doesn't sound like the Wolves are about to make this offer, as we got reports saying that the Wolves aren't showing any inclination that they are going to accept the Rockets' offer of 4 first-round draft picks. I have no idea what is going on. The Los Angeles Lakers were able to get their second win in a row. An impressive one too, as they hand the Denver Nuggets their first loss of the season, 121-114. LeBron James recording his first triple-double as a Laker, 28 points, 11 rebounds, and 11 assists. And also, I really like the lineup that the Lakers are using right now. Lonzo is most likely going to be their starting point guard from here on out, even when Rondo does return from his suspension. And I am more than fine with that, since his jumper, it seems to be fixed, even though yes, he does airball at least once per game, but he's still been shooting the ball pretty well. And his defense in that starting lineup has helped a lot the Lakers a lot too. He's like the jack of all trades type player. He'll do a lot of everything for you. 12 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds, and 5 steals for Lonzo yesterday. And I also like Kuzma as a starter as well. See, he gives the Lakers a much needed consistent scoring threat in their starting 5. No offense to Ingram, but when it comes to strictly being able to score the ball, I'm taking Kuzma over Ingram any day of the week right now. Now, the question is, could there be room for Ingram and Kuzma in that starting 5? Could Ingram play the 2? I don't know, and I don't think the Lakers are going to look at that. I still think Kuzma's probably going to end up coming off the bench. So yeah, LA has some tough decisions to make with their rotation. Damian Lillard scored 34 of his 41 points in the second half yesterday, a franchise record for most points scored in the second half. And according to Damian Lillard, it was all thanks to a Magic fan who was heckling him from the sidelines during the first half.
But they had a guy, behind their bench that just kept running his mouth. He just kept running his mouth. And I told him, I said, you're going to get them in trouble. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for this. And he kept on talking. And in the second half, I ain't hear a word from him. So, that's that.
Is it safe to say that opposing fans should be a little bit smarter than that when heckling Damian Lillard?
I mean, typically, I would have just ignored him, but he was so loud and saying some, some crazy stuff. So,
besides Lillard, though, a player who has impressed me for the Blazers so far this year is Zach Collins, their first round lottery pick from last year. They need to find more minutes for this guy because they are a much better team when he's on the court. He can stretch the floor, he actually plays hard, and he might be their best rim protector too. In the 20 minutes that he is getting per game, he's putting up 10 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 2.3 blocks. The guy is averaging 2.3 blocks in 20 minutes. Portland find more minutes for this man. And the Detroit Pistons remain undefeated while the Cleveland Cavaliers remain winless. They're 5th lesson of the season, 110-103. Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond carrying Detroit to the win. Griffin with 26 points and 10 rebounds on 9 of 13 shooting, and Drummond with 26 points of his own to go along with 22 rebounds. And that is going to bring us to today's player of the day, and it's sponsored today by Hoop Culture. Now, I know you guys have been peeping it the entire video. I know you guys have been peeping the flames that I've been wearing on my shirt as my shirt this entire video. They sent me out a couple of shirts. They sent me this one and they sent me another one. They're both dope, but this one right here, Hoop Vibes times Mood 365, that's clean. I like that because it is Hoop Vibes 365 days of the year. So if you like this too, and they have a lot of other really cool things, I might have to start getting like sweaters or something from there because it's about to be winter here in Michigan and that gets really cool. But if you guys like this, you already know I got you with the links. It's down in the description box below, and you can use the promo code ZACH10 to receive 10% off your order. Definitely go check them out. Anyways though, you guys can vote for the player of the day by clicking the little eye icon right here in the top right hand corner of the video. Just remember though that only players whose team won are eligible to win player of the day. And yesterday that player had to be Steph Curry with 51 points and just 3/4. Thank you once again for watching though. You guys already know that you are the real MVPs. I'll be right back here tomorrow, so make sure that you subscribe to the channel with post notifications turned on so you can stay updated with everything that goes on in the NBA on a daily basis. But until then, I'm out of here. Peace!